This is an old report, so I'm sure the numbers have actually increased, but the economic impact of tinnitus. My name is Michael, or Avi. Thanks so much for joining in today. This is the $1 billion cure. If you are like 16, 17, 18-year-old me, especially 15-year-old me, I was crazy about making money. I was crazy about online marketing, and I loved it. I was obsessed. There was days where I would wake up, and the only thing I would do is research other YouTubers, and I started YouTube channels. I sold YouTube channels. I made some money. I had a lot of failures, but at 19 years old, I did have a success, and at 15 years old, I did have a smaller success, which actually led me to the more failures, which led to the experience that gave me the big success, and then I failed. So without tinnitus, I'm sure this year or next year would be the changing point of my life, the positive changing point where, hey, I'd be making $100,000, and then boom, we would break the $250,000 barrier. I did break the $100,000 barrier before, but really I was aiming for the $1 million barrier. I got a little bit greedy. Anyway, I know there's another Michael out there because there's people who are way more obsessed than I ever was, because you have more energy, you're a healthier individual, and you're probably better at time management than I was. I was pretty horrible at time management, and I did make probably more mistakes. I had more failures than a normal entrepreneur would. But regardless, whoever it is out there who actually cures tinnitus or leads to the cure of tinnitus, whether it's through a nonprofit charity or an actual for-profit company, whether it's a private company or a company that does an IPO, whatever it is, if tinnitus is cured by a drug or by an operation or by a mixture of them or by stem cell therapy that's somehow improved from today's stem cells, or it's gene restoration, or whatever it is, as long as you're a leading role in this, you will solve problem to millions and millions of individuals who are experiencing this every single day, who currently do not have any treatments that can actually lower the volume and make it stay there. Because people who go through meditation and cognitive behavioral therapy and tinnitus retraining therapy and who use hearing aids and cochlear implants who say, yes, my tinnitus did go down, it can still spike, it can still go up. So even if there was not a cure that cured completely tinnitus, but just made sure that, okay, let's say your hearing loss is negative 10 decibels or negative 20 or negative 40 decibels, whatever, you can't hear at 8,000 hertz, but there's another gunshot, you took this drug, you took this operation, and that gunshot didn't worsen your hearing and didn't worsen your tinnitus, that is already a huge step in progression from where we are today. And that might be the future, where it might be 5 years from now, it might be 10, it might be 50 years from now, but I really do believe that in our generation, with AI, with technology, with better data gathering, with more and more of these victims of tinnitus, you will realize that, holy moly, you can make a lot of money from this if you just get obsessed, you learn about this, whether you become a medical professional or an entrepreneur who builds a company, or you're going to work with other people to resolve this, whether it's scientists or doctors or whoever it is, maybe AI, maybe that's the future, where you're just going to work with robots, and hey, one of your AIs will realize, okay, this data connects with this, and we did these studies, and whoa, here's a new drug that we've never thought of before, and hey, what do you know, it actually works. Well, you're going to resolve this huge problem that some people are willing to pay millions of dollars for, because it's just as bad as going blind, or it's just as bad as cancer. And here's the economic impact of tinnitus. Personal economic loss to an individual with tinnitus, including lost earnings, productivity, and health expenses, can be up to $30,000 annually. So if someone lives for 20 years, that's $600,000. So you can see that someone who gets tinnitus like I did at 20 years of age, and you're going all the way up to 60 years old, so that's, people are going to be living to 90, 100 years old more often, just to 60. If you got it at 20, you're already going way over $1 million in expenses. And you have millions and millions of people who have had this. So the cost of society as a whole has been estimated at upwards of $20 $6 billion annually. $26 billion annually. So that's going in through tinnitus, hearing loss, hyperacusis, the anxiety, the suicidal ideation, everything, the insomnia, everything. Because a person who has tinnitus, and if it stays there, it's permanent, will go through a huge roller coaster ride of trying the latest treatments, going to the doctors, trying various drugs and supplements. And I mean people who have severe tinnitus, because the person who doesn't go to a doctor, they're not really going through bad tinnitus. And these guys may or they may not buy the tinnitus cure if there was one, if it came out 10 years from now. But I'm sure they would buy it if their tinnitus got worse. And that's a huge thing, because a lot of these people who have mild tinnitus, I see this with comparisons between other people and their experiences, where they experience mild tinnitus and whatever, it was fine, and then boom, it spiked one day, and suddenly they're on the forums visiting every single day, refreshing for a cure, and they never had that before. And I can also compare it with me. In 2017, I experienced tinnitus for a couple of hours. And I thought, oh my God, I was panicking, but then it went away and I was like, all right, well, whatever. So I researched tinnitus, but I truly didn't understand tinnitus, and I wasn't as panicked as I was about it. I didn't realize even that I was a warning sign that, hey, I probably should stop listening to music so loud, and I probably should watch out for ototoxic medications, and I probably should get earplugs. I didn't do any of that. It didn't register to me, and that was mild tinnitus, because I would probably, I had it for a couple of hours. I did experience it, and most people do experience it. Maybe after a concert, their ears ring a little bit, they go to sleep, boom, never again, okay? So that's great. I'm really happy that there's a lot of people out there who have that, but there's also a large selection of people who eventually, years down the line, will experience permanent tinnitus, and that is a huge world of a difference. It's like breaking your arm, going to ER, everything's fixed up, and you're sure it's going to hurt for a couple of weeks, but then, oh, great, you're able to play soccer again and everything's fine. And breaking your spine, where you're stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. There's a world of a difference. The guy who broke his arm, you're not going to school or work for a couple of days, and then it hurts, you take painkillers, and you're fine. You're probably never going to have any problems with that arm again, okay? Maybe temperature sometimes gets worse and you feel it, but you're fine. The guy who broke his spine, yeah, he may have to change work, he may have to change where he lives, he might not be able to drive cars again. A world of a difference. So that is a great comparison for mild tinnitus, where it doesn't bother people, and severe tinnitus, where some end up killing themselves over this. Again, it's kind of a rant that I'm doing here, but I don't know what my future looks like. And I'm just really hoping that there's someone crazy like younger Mike who is going to be obsessed, and they're going to do sort of what I did, or any other entrepreneur, where they're not really going to care as much about their health and relationships, and nothing matters, just this obsession to cure this problem, to make money. If it's money, or if it's power, if it's recognition, or whatever that obsession will be, or maybe you just really, really, really want to help people, and that's your insane obsession. You just want to help people so bad that you're waking up early. You're studying this for 12 hours a day. You're making forums. You go to websites. Like, if I was healthy and I didn't have tinnitus, but I found out about it, or someone from my family or my girlfriend or whatever, and hopefully that never happens, but someone nearby me had it and they were complaining like I would be. If I saw that and I realized how big of a problem this is, and I looked at it from an entrepreneurial perspective, I'd go, whoa, okay, it's go time now. I'd create an entire YouTube channel for it, and whatever. I would go full out. I'd be uploading content every single day. While you have it, though, you're weakened. You can't do it. I mean, some people with mild tinnitus are able to do so much better than others, but when you have severe, you can't work. Anyways, that's the video. Whoever fixes it gets $1 billion or more if they go about it the right way. So, and even if you don't make that money, because you did it with a team of people, you can still make millions of dollars, because the hearing aid industry is worth billions of dollars. You saw the economic cost factor. Just one person, $30,000 per year. And I definitely fit into that statistic. Because of me, I mean, I'm getting hearing aids probably next month that are going to be $2,500 or $3,000. And it's gotten to the point where it's really, really bad, and I can't stay inside the house. I just can't. I feel like ripping my hair out every single day. I'm just suffering so bad. Got into huge debt, spent thousands on doctors and drugs and supplements, and I went over $30,000, that's for sure. And a year's not even passed. It's been 9 months, so I went way over $30,000. And that's why I'm in debt. I was in debt before tinnitus, but it wasn't that bad, and I actually had a way of paying it off. Now, there's no income coming in, that's for sure. And that's why my future is unknown, because I have no control over this. None. So I really hope someone does cure it. Thanks for watching. My name is Mike or Avi. Protect your ears. And if you have tinnitus, check out the links in the description below for some support. You can go to a forum, Tinnitus Talk. And if you're, I should have mentioned this earlier, if you're that obsessed individual, the entrepreneurial type, you can refresh the numbers every single day for the Tinnitus Reddit, where you see, okay, now it's currently at 12,000, but it used to have 30 people in it. And Tinnitus Talk, hey, it started with one person, and now it's approaching 30,000 followers, and there's a Facebook group with over 15,000 followers. So you have all these little places across the internet where you have thousands and thousands of people. Now, if they're all grouped together and it was organized, as Tinnitus Talk is, but if it was, done earlier, then we'd have a place with over 100,000 people. But I definitely do believe Tinnitus Talk will have over 100,000 people one day. So, whoa, that's really huge lights. So, that was a bus that was just flashing the headlights. But anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.